that you will probably use that in a real sense I might not even understand. Honestly, them in a real sense.
You either know someone who abuses drugs or you are someone. And it's as simple as that.
And it's that prevalent. You think it's that prevalent?
It's that prevalent. I can tell you plenty. I won't, but I could tell you plenty of people who abuse substances. I haven't, thankfully, but I know plenty of my old classmates. And I just got out of middle school. Like, I know plenty of people. And it's sad.
And so you see, and these individuals we see walking around at the mall and at various other places, and many of them might be involved in what we call substance abuse. And so, in a real sense, this is a real problem in America today, dealing with that particular, with all groups in a real sense, but especially with this particular group. And this is why we wanted to highlight what we're dealing with
We need to get awareness out for this. There's so many groups that help teenagers get off drugs, but we just need more awareness.
Okay, and so what we'll do, we'll take our first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.
You did that at first, and you had me thinking that was going to end, so I stopped talking, and I kept giving it to you because I kept thinking it was going to end. Yeah, so I got confused. That's why I stopped talking, but I had more to say, but I was scared that I was going to go over.
Well, now, what we'll do, we'll come back for this second segment. And then this will be an 8-minute segment, and we're still talking about adolescence and substance abuse, and now you're free in a real sense to sort of build your information around within that 8-minute area. Can you do that?
Oh, well, you like my nails?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got them, you got one of them glitter. Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this will be 7 minutes and 55 seconds, and I'm going to introduce the show again. So this is moving quite well here. I hope we can
thank
move all
you.
And saying, you know, and all I'm going to say is let's pick up where we left off last time, and then you.
So I'm going to talk about like statistic-wise for this subject, and then I'm talking about like real-world experiences for the last segment is what I meant. And only do your eyebrows when it's about to end.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Just make sure I get it, you know. I'll be looking at you. Just
I generally say it when, you know, almost.
I know, but you cut me off, like, and I don't want to keep going. So just make sure I can.
Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Alana McLaughlin, and she's given us some information in reference to adolescence and substance abuse. And Alana, let's pick up where we left off during that first segment to have you continue your discussion in reference to some of the issues involved with adolescence and substance abuse. Let's do it from that perspective.
As I stated in the first segment, I will be referring to, any substance can be abused. Anything can be abused. But right now, for the purpose of the show, I'm solely talking about drugs, things that aren't meant to be abused, but still are. Things that are meant to, well, prescription drugs at least, are meant to help you, not to kill you. And so that's what I'll be talking about. Also, I will be focusing on the adolescent age group. In my eyes, that means 13 to say middle 20s. I will be including statistics from other age groups and etc., but I will be mainly focusing on teenagers, you know, young adults. So as I said, or as I just said, substance abuse. What is substance abuse? Substance abuse, in a short layman's type term, is basically when someone gets something and gets a drug and they abuse it. You know, they abuse its power. Drugs are meant to give you a temporary high, or, you know, make you forget about things, etc., etc. They're not meant to be used every hour of the day, every single day, to the point where you're sick and throwing up. That's a sign that you're addicted to that drug. Now, honestly, and you can look this up, 60% of seniors in high school don't think that marijuana is bad. And to be fair, marijuana doesn't necessarily kill people, but THC will make you addicted to marijuana. And it's 5 times stronger. That THC in marijuana is 5 times stronger than it was 20 years ago. So as you see, it's only getting stronger, which means it's only getting more addictive. And that's only, say, when you're high, and some people will love to argue about this, you don't think straight. Some people say, oh, well, being high makes me more productive, da, 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 da. You can be just as productive sober as you can high. And that's not something that has to be scientifically proven. That's just common sense. Anyone under the influence of drugs can be just as dumb or just as productive sober, but I feel like it's better to be sober. Why? Because drugs do nothing for you or do nothing for people around you. They only help you. Being high, say your job has a random drug test, you're going to lose your job. And things like that. They have more cons than they do pros. And so that's why, I mean, you know, anyone, if your state has legal medical marijuana, you know, feel free to do that. But there's a difference between using it for medicinal purposes and abusing it. And that's what a lot of adolescents fail to see. Now, as I was saying about 60% of seniors, those are people who are about to be in our workforce, who we're going to have to depend on for clothing and hair and et cetera, and for all the necessities that we need. Do you want someone making your McDonald's burger high, or making your coffee high, or making your clothing high?
And
you don't.
So in a real sense, Alana, you're saying that this is quite prevalent among many groups, and statistically, you think that quite a number of young people are involved with abusing substances. And I think you've indicated for the most part, not only do they abuse drugs and et cetera, but they also deal with pharmaceutical items and et cetera, et cetera. That's a real problem that people ordinarily wouldn't associate with young people, but it's your contention that they also abuse prescription medications. Is that what we're saying? The
top 2 things that adolescents suffer from abusing: marijuana and prescription drugs. A lot of people say, well, why would teenagers abuse prescription drugs? You know, half of them can't even legally get them. You can. I can tell you firsthand that you can, because I had a couple prescription drugs when I had to have mouth surgery or gum surgery, whatever. But anyway, I was prescribed those drugs, and it's perfectly legal to be able to give a minor those, but I'm saying it's that easy to give them. And I'm glad that I received those, because they did help with pain, and I didn't abuse them. I had parents who took them from me, would only give me some at a certain time, and etc. But a lot of people don't have parents who are aware of how big substance abuse, how prevalent it is. And you want to know a scary statistic? The United States, you know, all the states, make up 5% of the world's population, entire world. We make up 75% of prescription drugs used. And so that's really a problem in the United States. That is a big problem. We only make up 5% of the world's population, but 75% of the world's prescription drugs go to us. We don't even have the majority of the world in our country. We're not that big of a country. Like, that's alarming. That's highly alarming. And another statistic, 60% of adolescents get their drugs from an adult, or get